Speaking of complete receivers, the Cheetah is with us. Ty, thank you for taking this time, my friend. It has been fun to watch you out here over the last couple of weeks getting after it. But I want to ask you, everybody knows you're the fastest guy in the league. You and I have talked for 5 years now about you working at your game. But your interview that you had this weekend was the best I've ever seen since you've been here. I want to ask you about what you're learning about being a pro's pro in this game.
I don't know. I guess for me, just being on YouTube a lot more, just watching other guys around the league talk, and just committing to like wanting to like grow as a man, as a citizen, as a father, So I want to be all those things, and I'm still growing and learning each and every day. So I'm excited for my journey.
And Tyreek, one thing that you've really made a point of doing this season is being a leader for these young guys. Why is being a leader out here for some of these young receivers, why is that so important to you as you're growing as a player as well?
Because I was once in their position. I was fifth round draft pick, and I was able to come into a great locker room with Jeremy Max, Chris Conley, Albert Wilson, and all those guys took me right under their wing or whatever. Not only me but D-Rob, and it helped me get to the spot. What I'm saying, position that I'm in right now, and I'm very thankful for those guys. I'm thankful for the Chiefs giving me the opportunity, to be in this position, in such a great environment, great culture, and so I'm just blessed, man.
We're blessed to have you wearing red and gold. What's
Yes,
interesting,
sir.
I'm telling you, my man, it's interesting. A lot of guys in this league, Ty, were fast, but didn't make much out of their career. You seem to work at every facet of your game. What about your attention to detail in regard, not just route running, but there's times you're asked to block? What about just being a complete player?
I really take, I really take criticism the wrong way from a lot of people, because like you said, when I first came into the league, a lot of people said it was like, he's just another fast guy, So I kind of took that to heart, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to be different. I want to be different from any other speed guy. I want to be able to block, make tough grabs, be able to run every route on a route tree, So I worked my butt off each and every offseason, to grow as a player, in every aspect of the game, So I feel like each and every year my role is going to grow because the trust is going to begin to grow from Coach Reed and Patrick and everyone else. So like I said, I when I first came into the league, I kind of took it personal when people started comparing me to a lot of fast guys. I don't like being compared to no one, because my mom always told me I was different, So, and if you want to be great, you got to be different, and you got to chase greatness. So
You definitely
that's what I live by, man.
Well, and you should.
Love it.
You definitely are different. I mean, you are one of the best all-around receivers in the league today. You're not just a speed guy. We
Thank
all
you.
know that. Yeah, you deserve it. And I'm curious, now that you're going into your fifth season as a pro, where do you want to get better? What's the next step for you as a complete receiver?
Well, I think for me, to get better, I just gotta be able to just trust myself, in certain situations, because you can tell sometimes when I catch the ball, I always think that people are around me when clearly they're not, So I just gotta be able to just catch the ball, just snag it, put it away, and then just start putting up the peace sign, immediately after. So I just feel like if I begin to trust myself and just trust my hands more, I feel like I'd be a whole completely different animal, Plus, I bulked up 7 pounds, so right now I'm weighing 195, man, all muscle. It's crazy. I feel great too, man.
I don't know if you ever wrestled, Tyreek, but I think you'd win the NCAA wrestling title at 195.
You think so?
Yes.
You believe so? Well, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
I want to ask you about this because behind me is basically the red zone. And the field, it becomes arena football, right? We're looking at the red zone right behind us, the 20 on in. And I want to ask you about learning to play in the red zone because people would say, well, that neutralizes his speed. He can't run by me when he's only got 30 yards to use. What have you learned about playing in the red zone, especially with Pat in the red zone?
Well, I will say that in the red zone, windows definitely get tighter, So for me, it does get harder. So that's when a whole lot of finesse, and I got to be more physical. That's why this whole offseason I put on more weight, so like I'm able to throw DBs around more in the red zone. So, I mean, with Pat, you know, the play is always alive. Like you can be the number 4 receiver on the play, and he'll turn you into the number 1 read immediately. So you always gotta be mindful, you know, of where you are on the field, because he will look left and throw right out of nowhere, and you just gotta be ready for it. So red zone is definitely different.
And Ty, as a follow-up to that, everyone has to be ready for it. We like to talk about stats, and you have some incredible stats in your time in the league. But to be on an offense with so many superstar wide receivers, you guys are really unselfish, it seems like. Just how special is it to have a wide receiver room with great players who don't care about their stats? It's all about winning.
Well, I feel like for all of us, you know, we came from programs, you know, good homes, you know, good schools, you know, and we all just want to be a part of a franchise who wants to win. You know, we're basically all brothers, you know, out here trying to make each other better, compete, you know, and that's what it's all about. Like there will never be an ego, not from us, from the tight ends, from no one, you know, because there have been times where I've ran a route and I've said, hey, coach, you know, you got to put McCole out there, you got to put Sammy out there, you got to give him the ball, you know, because I want to see my guys eat the same way I eat. I want to see my guys eat too, though, you know, because they deserve that. Like each and every day, you know, during these training camp moments, they're going hard. Like they're going 110 miles per hour, you know, being a decoy for me, you know. So that's why I feel like, you know, those guys deserve, you know, more love than, you know, that they don't get. Like they don't get enough credit. Like those guys don't get enough credit. So, shouts out to the receiving room, man.
But it's interesting how it works out. Everybody still gets stats. Like there's enough food to eat. If you go back to last season, everybody got great numbers. So it's like just chill. You know, it's going to happen.
Exactly.
One of the highlights this spring for me was when we had you on Defending the Kingdom with Barbershop. But it was awesome because I asked you about conditioning, going back to the playoffs, or I think the Tennessee game we targeted you like 14 times. But even before the Wasp, it's like you're running 400 meters and you're going right back on the track and run another 400 meters. The conditioning you have to run these routes after routes after routes when Big Red is dialing you up time after time after time.
Well, yeah, man. My dad, man, my dad and my granddad, like, you know, they've done a great job with me, you know, every off season, like coming to the track with me, coming to the field with me, and just making sure that, you know, my endurance is right, my conditioning is right, you know, and that my core is strong, you know, because in order to run forever, you got to have a strong core. So, like my dad, man, so it'll be some mornings we'll wake up and we'll go to the track and we'll stay there for like 3 hours. And then we'll go home, we'll do some yoga, and then my granddad, he'll come and say, hey, let's go to the field. And then we doing the same thing, like we just running for no reason. I'm like, man. But, you know, like, it hurts, you know, and it's painful, but like I always got to be mindful that, like, in the clutchest moments that my team is always gonna need me, you know. So I gotta be able to like stay on the field in those clutch moments. So if I do run like WAPs or something, I gotta be able to come back and run a go like right behind it, you know. So right after that, I gotta come back and block the safety right after that. It's gotta keep going, you know. So like I've seen Randy Moss do it, Jerry Rice do it. Like those are the greats. So I'm chasing greatness, you know what I'm saying. So I want to be able to stay on the field and play as long as I can play because it's fun. And I love doing it.
Tyreek, this is a game about growth, and you have grown in every way, shape, or form in your game and your life. It is exciting to see what's going to happen here in 2020 with you, my friend. So
Thank you.
We'll get ready to run it back. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Yes, sir.